My life with Clayton and April, or should I say our life. I'm Clayton.
And I'm April, and this is the Clayton and April show.
It all started in 8th grade 4 years ago at Deer Valley Middle School. April is, of course, late in the year, like always.
And it was 8th grade, and I was just very, very excited because I was moving to Arizona from Colorado, and it was just, this school was going to be a lot bigger than my last school, and it was just a new atmosphere with new people, and I was just really, really excited.
So, as you can see, she was all dolled up, and I kept hearing all day, because I didn't actually see her until lunchtime for the first time, but I kept hearing all this talk all day, like, through each period of, like, this beautiful girl, and, like, whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever, and, like, every guy was talking about it, though, and I was like, whatever, because I wasn't trying to get a girl or, like, be in a relationship, and then, like, I was like, these guys are going crazy over this girl, it's just a girl, and, like, they were, like, drooling over here, and I was like, okay, they're all drooling over here, whatever, so, anyways, lunch came around, and, like, I went to lunch, and I was just, like, looking around and sitting down, and, like, I looked over, and, like, I saw her, and I was drooling, too, at that point. I was like, she had to be mine. So, we had class together, 4th period. I, like, went to 4th period after lunch, and, like, I looked up, and there she was, like, bam, and I was, like, so excited. It was perfect.
And we just knew from that point, like, after talking, that we were just, this was more than we both thought.
So I was like, what's your number? I need it.
So our love just grew and grew after we text, and all year we just kept sitting together and being together and just loving it.
And everything was just perfect. Like, nothing could stop us, nothing can slow us down, we won't let anything get in our way, no one will bring us down.
But then I had, like, this really important thing to say, and that was just that I was moving to Florida, and that was after 8th grade graduation.
So, of course, it was hard, and the months went by, and we spent great months together and just had a great time, but then finally it was
Graduation was just growing closer and closer, and it was really hard to concentrate on anything but the fact that we weren't going to be together anymore. But we both knew that we had to make it work, so we just tried our best to hold on and think of what the future was going to be like, but it was just scary because it's like, what if it doesn't work out, and what if we can't see each other anymore, and, like, what if this and that and that.
So, of course, the time came, and last words were, don't forget about me, and then off it was, and she left.
So I left from Phoenix all the way to Florida,
and Skype now was our new best friend.
And we literally Skyped all the time.
It was like day and night, day in and day out. Like,
and it was just that type of moment where kisses were the only thing that could heal. But after a while, the texts got seldom, and the phone calls, and the Skyping, and it was like two people living their own lives instead of one person.
So, of course, it was getting slower, and things were pulling us apart, and we were growing our separate ways, and, like, life was just getting harder and harder, and we just were hoping that we could make it work, but it was starting to feel like we could never do it.
And so, as you know, we both started high school, and it was just a lot harder than middle school because we both started getting into our own type of ordeals and having a hard time with, like, drinking, which was my thing.
And then for me, on the other hand, like, you know, we were always, like, being invited out by our friends and stuff, like, both of us, and, like, so, like, I would go out and stuff, and then, like, I got into, you know, like, my own set of things. Like, she was into drinking, and I was into smoking, and so, like, yeah, that obviously pulls you apart in your relationship.
So, we finally worked it out to where, like, 8 months from the last time we saw each other, that we would finally see each other again, and that glorious moment was in Florida, and it was just more than we could have ever asked for.
So I flew out to go see her, and it was, like, awesome and perfect, and, like, yeah, there was arguments and stuff, but we were just, like, so happy to be able to be together and see each other, and, like, we could not let go of each other, like, the whole entire time. We were just, like, clamming up and holding on to each other, like, completely, like, just in love.
And it was just perfect. But the thing is that we were supposed to go to prom, but instead we decided that it would be way cooler to do something fun that we'd make last forever. So instead we went to Universal Studios, and the vacation was just over before we knew it, and that sucked.
So back to I'll see you soon. And, well, once I got back and we were away from each other for a while, things just kept getting hard. So we decided that we would open our relationship to keep it from anything happening. And we were still together, but our relationship was just open. So that was pulling us apart and stuff, but we made it work.
So as we just continued, I decided that I was going to surprise Clayton by flying to his house in Phoenix, Arizona, and completely surprise him.
So it was, let's see, like, it was 6 months from the last time we saw each other, and next thing you know, I came home from school one day, and bam, she was there, and, like, I was, like, so happy, and just, like, everything was just, like, just amazing and perfect.
This time we could tell things were a little bit different, and it was kind of hard to cope with just the fact that things weren't the same, but we made it work. And
then towards the end of vacation, before she went home, we, like, sat down and, like, we had this long talk and, like, talked about all this stuff, and it was literally just, like, a monumental change and, like,
it was literally the most biggest milestone in our relationship. We decided that we would quit drinking and quit smoking and drug and alcohol.
Cut those out of our life.
Which was the best decision we ever made, because on our path to graduating early, which is 2 years earlier than the regular, high school person, we were almost done with school and we had nothing else to block our relationship, and it was just very exciting, and we were very happy with our relationship.
So we're back apart, and this time I talked to my mom because we always wanted to live together, and finally my parents were just like, yes, you can go, and so off
we went to Hawaii together, and it was just absolutely perfect until the fight started getting more, because we just didn't click and something was definitely wrong.
So we were like, didn't even understand each other, and like we couldn't even stop fighting, so
we decided we needed a physical break. So we were going to see each other soon, but not right now.
So Skype was now back to our best friend.
And I soon after that went back to Florida, because it was just the feeling from being in Hawaii after the breakup was hard for me. So once I got to Florida, I just was ready to move on and restart a chapter in our relationship to rebuild it because of what happened in Hawaii. And
so I was like, wait, why aren't you in Florida?
But it was just before I went to Chicago, so it wasn't that long. But we continued on our journey to be together and make this last. So during our relationship, we finally both were about to graduate from high school, online of course, because that's how we did it, to graduate so early. But eventually I was on Facebook and saw that he was back to partying, which made me really upset, and I just couldn't understand why.
So she stopped talking to me, and I wrote a letter every single day, and then pictures and stuff, and finally I was really done and changed on my own and stuff.
And so, since he talked to my dad all the time, and I talked to him too, that I could totally understand everything that was happening, besides that fact that he would always call me and leave me voicemails of the latest news.
Here's the thing, my mom made me get a job at McDonald's, and of course it was so horrible, but whatever, I made it work and stuff, so.
And so after I saw that he was really truly changing, I decided that I was going to give it one more shot and fly back to Arizona so we could move in together and really try this. So after living together for a long time, we started doing fun things together, like dyeing our hair and spending holidays together and just being the couple that we always wanted to be.
So it was perfect and everything was great, and then we went on this long road trip around the U.S. and went to all these cool little destinations, and then we decided that it was time to move back to Hawaii.
And this is where we wanted to spend our life and have a baby, and so we decided to start planning to have a baby and doing all this stuff, and we did lots of fun stuff in Hawaii, and
we were always going and adventuring and doing something, and planning for when are we going to start trying for our baby, and had all these ideas, and we're snorkeling all the time and
hiking, it was just paradise.
So then one day we were just sitting around and just an ordinary day, and out of nowhere we were
all just talking, and
then
it was
our dad was just I'm in love.
So we were moving to Colorado.
So we ended up moving here, and we started our YouTube channel. Of course, you're watching it, and then so here we are now. And 4 years later, we're doing really strong, and we're living together, and everything's perfect and great, and we couldn't be happier. And soon now,
it'll be almost time to have our baby,
and this belly is going to be nice and full in just a few more months.
So we're both very, very, very excited and are happy spending our time together and making videos for you guys and just patiently waiting for our future to unfold. So yeah.
So anyways, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to us and
give us thumbs up
and comment what you thought.
So, mwah!